Welcome back to the deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're going to be cracking open a young adult novel.
Cool.
Called Don't Hate the Player. Hate the Game.
Okay.
We're going to explore it.
Right.
See what we can learn about character dynamics and grief and those coming-of-age themes.
What I find so fascinating about this genre is its ability to tackle these complex issues through the lens of these relatable coming-of-age experiences.
Exactly. So let's get right into it. The story follows Noah Sullivan, who is a high school senior, whose world is just totally shaken when his best friend, Jake Nelson, dies in this sudden accident.
And here's where things take a really interesting turn.
Yeah.
Jake wasn't your average friend.
Yeah.
He was the school's stereotypical player.
Right.
Charismatic, but often insensitive.
Yeah, you get the picture. So naturally, Noah's initial reaction to Jake's death is just a whirlwind of emotions, confusion, denial.
Yeah.
He's really struggling to even grasp what happened.
What's especially poignant is how Noah grapples with expressing his grief openly. The novel touches upon those societal expectations of masculinity.
Oh, yeah.
Where being vulnerable is often mistaken for weakness.
There's this powerful scene where Noah bolts out of a group counseling session, terrified of breaking down in front of everybody.
Yeah.
He ends up crying alone.
Oh, wow.
Outside the school. Just desperate to maintain this facade of strength.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. But it really gets you thinking about how often we bury our true emotions.
Oh, for sure.
Because of these societal pressures.
Absolutely. And as we delve deeper into Noah's journey, it becomes clear that this event is just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
The story takes an unexpected twist when Noah stumbles upon a diamond engagement ring among Jake's belongings.
Talk about a curveball. You'd expect this from anyone but Jake.
Yeah.
The guy everyone pegged as a total commitment phobe.
Right.
This discovery really throws Noah for a loop.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
It forces him to reevaluate everything he thought he knew about Jake.
Yeah.
Prompting a quest to find the intended recipient of the ring.
It makes you wonder if maybe we judge people too quickly, relying on stereotypes instead of seeing the whole picture.
Precisely. This revelation sets Noah on a path that leads him to interact with a cast of female characters who are part of Jake's life, each offering a different perspective on who he really was.
First, there's Avery, the popular girl, who at first glance seems like the obvious choice for the ring.
Right.
But as Noah digs deeper, he starts to see beyond the surface.
Then there's Presley, another of Jake's romantic interests.
Oh, okay.
Her interactions with Noah provide a glimpse into the charming, yet sometimes hurtful side of Jake, adding more layers to his character.
And of course, there's Maddie, who becomes Noah's own love interest. She's the, quote, good girl, unquote, who plays a crucial role in helping Noah break free from those stereotypical expectations and to really embrace vulnerability.
Their connection is marked by these beautifully symbolic moments, like their dance at a church social.
Oh, wow.
It's a visual representation of Noah stepping outside his comfort zone, both physically and emotionally.
It's interesting how the novel weaves these small symbolic moments into the larger narrative.
Absolutely.
Speaking of symbolism, we can't forget Maddie's younger brother, Josh, who's battling leukemia. Caring for Josh allows Noah to tap into this depth of empathy and emotional expression he never even knew he had.
It really highlights how genuine human connection, especially in the face of adversity, can be such a catalyst for personal growth. You see Noah begin to shed that tough exterior and connect with these emotions on a much deeper level.
Absolutely. But just when we think we're starting to understand Noah, the novel throws us another curveball. It's revealed that Joe Preston, a famous baseball player, is actually his absent father.
This revelation sends shockwaves through Noah. Triggering a wave of anger and resentment. It's almost as if he sees a pattern in his own life, realizing how quick he is to label people without truly understanding their stories.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
How often do we judge others based on incomplete information?
All the time.
Yeah.
And this internal struggle ultimately leads Noah to seek out his father. Their eventual meeting is filled with emotional complexities.
Right.
Anger.
Sure.
Confusion.
Yeah.
But also a gradual development of understanding.
What's interesting is how empathy plays a huge role here as well.
Absolutely.
Noah learns about Joe's own troubled childhood.
Yeah.
And it helps him grasp why his father made the choices that he did. It's a powerful reminder that everyone carries their own burdens, their own past experiences that shape who they become.
It's like we're peeling back layers, not only of the characters, but also of our own preconceived notions about people.
Exactly. And it doesn't stop there. There's this touching scene where Noah asks Joe to help Maddie's family financially with Josh's medical bills. It's such a small gesture, but it speaks volumes about Noah's growth and compassion.
It shows that he's not only beginning to understand others, but also acting on that understanding in a selfless way.
Right.
He's starting to see the world through a different lens, one that's a little less judgmental and a lot more compassionate.
But remember that central mystery of the engagement ring.
Right.
Well, the novel throws us another curveball when the intended recipient is finally revealed.
And who might that be?
It's Presley, and she's pregnant with Jake's child.
Wow. Talk about a plot twist.
Right. This revelation throws Noah into turmoil. He's developing feelings for Maddie, but he also feels this immense sense of responsibility towards Jake's memory and his unborn child.
It's a moral dilemma of the highest order.
Yeah.
And just when things couldn't get any more complicated, Noah finds a letter from Jake written before his death.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Oh, yeah.
What does the letter say?
Well, in the letter, Jake expresses deep regret for his past behavior.
Okay.
He acknowledges the pain he caused.
Right.
And expresses a desire to be a better man.
So he wasn't just putting on a show for Maddie and Pastor Dan.
It seems not. He admits his feelings for Maddie and asks Noah to support Presley and the baby.
Wow.
It's a truly powerful moment of forgiveness and reconciliation.
Yeah.
But it leaves Noah grappling with these conflicting emotions, trying to figure out what the right path forward is.
I can't even imagine what must be going through his mind at this point. He's got his own feelings for Maddie to consider.
Right.
But he also has this responsibility to his deceased friend.
Sure.
It's a lot to process.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And it all leads up to one of the most pivotal decisions Noah has to make.
Okay.
Does he follow his heart and pursue a relationship with Maddie?
Right.
Or does he prioritize honesty and tell her the truth about the ring and everything that comes with it?
Sounds like he's at a crossroads.
He is. And in a truly mature act, he chooses honesty.
What happens next?
Well, he decides to tell Maddie everything.
Wow.
Despite the risk of losing her.
Right.
It's a testament to his growth throughout the novel.
This is getting good.
He's learning that true integrity sometimes requires making difficult choices, even if they come at a personal cost.
It sounds like this young adult novel delves into some pretty profound themes.
Right.
Grief, complex family dynamics, the weight of societal expectations, the power of empathy and forgiveness.
It's quite a journey for Noah.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that even seemingly simple stories can offer profound insights into the human experience.
So we're left with Noah at this crossroads, choosing honesty, even though it might cost him the girl he loves.
Yeah.
You have to admire his integrity.
Absolutely.
Right.
What's particularly striking is how the novel explores forgiveness on multiple levels.
Yeah.
It's not just about Noah forgiving Jake and his father,
right,
but also about him learning to forgive himself.
Yeah, right. It's like he's carrying all this guilt for misjudging them, for not seeing the full picture.
It highlights the idea that forgiveness is a multifaceted process, right? It's not always a straight line.
Right.
It can be messy and complex.
Yeah.
Just like real life.
So true. It makes you wonder if we're all carrying around these burdens of judgment, both towards and ourselves.
And this theme of self-forgiveness really comes into focus in the novel's epilogue, which takes place a year after Jake's death. We see Noah attending Jake's, quote, life celebration, unquote. An event organized by his mother to honor his memory.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What's Noah's headspace like at this point?
Right.
Is he still consumed by grief?
You know, it's interesting. We see a noticeable shift in him. He still misses Jake deeply.
Right.
But the raw, sharp edges of his grief have softened.
Okay.
He's found a healthier way to carry that memory without letting it completely define him.
It's almost as if he's finally found some peace.
There's definitely a sense of acceptance.
Yeah.
Not just about Jake's death, but also about his own past judgments. He's learned to see things through a more compassionate lens. And that extends to his relationship with his father.
Oh, right. What's the status of their relationship a year later?
Yeah.
Are they best buddies now?
Well, not exactly buddies.
Right.
But there's a newfound respect and acknowledgement between them.
Okay.
Remember that check Noah's grandfather left him?
Yeah.
The one he was going to use to help Maddie's family.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Well, it turns out Joe had already anonymously taken care of their medical expenses. It's subtle, but it's a powerful gesture that speaks volumes about his character development.
It shows he's not just trying to make amends with Noah.
Right.
But is also genuinely invested in his well-being.
Yeah.
And the people he cares about.
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
Exactly. Now, let's shift gears and talk about Maddie.
Okay.
She's undergone some significant growth as well.
Fill me in. What's going on with her a year later?
Right.
Is she still the good girl we met earlier in the story?
Well, she still has that kind heart.
Right.
But the epilogue shows her embracing a bit of rebellion.
Oh, okay.
She decides to skip her high school graduation ceremony to go party with Noah.
Wow.
Choosing to celebrate on her own terms.
I love that. She's finally breaking free from those expectations and figuring out what truly matters to her.
It signifies a shift in her priorities. She's learning to value personal happiness and genuine connection over societal pressures. You could say she's coming into her own.
So they end up going to this open mic night together.
We do. And here's where the tension really ramps up. Noah is still wrestling with the truth about the ring and Jake's letter.
Yeah.
But his feelings for Maddie are growing stronger.
It sounds like he's caught between a rock and a hard place.
He is. And just as he's about to confess everything to Maddie, guess who shows up?
Oh, no, don't tell me. Presley.
You got it. And she's ready to drop a bombshell of her own.
I can't wait to hear this. What happens?
Right in front of Maddie, Presley reveals that she's pregnant with Jake's child.
Wow. That's a game changer. How does Maddie react?
She's understandably shocked and hurt.
Yeah.
Noah tries to explain, but the situation is incredibly complicated. You can feel the tension in the air.
Poor Maddie. It seems like Jake's legacy, even in death, continues to have ripple effects on everyone's lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
His choices, both good and bad, are still shaping the present. Now, one more thing about the epilogue.
Yeah.
We learned that before his death,
Jake
gave Presley a notebook.
Intriguing. What's in this mysterious notebook?
Right.
Is it like a diary?
It's more than just a diary.
Okay.
It contains his thoughts, feelings, and reflections on his life.
Right.
And it becomes a crucial element in understanding the true extent of his transformation.
Right.
Remember, we were left wondering if his change was genuine or just an act.
So what does the notebook reveal?
Right.
Was he really trying to change, or was it all a facade?
His writing reveals a depth we hadn't seen before. It's clear that he was sincerely trying to become a better person.
Okay.
He expresses deep regret for his past behavior.
Yeah.
Acknowledging the hurt he caused others.
So it wasn't just a show for Maddie and Pastor Dan?
It seems not. It was a genuine internal shift.
Does he mention Maddie in the notebook?
He does. In fact, he confesses his deep feelings for her.
Wow.
Admitting that she inspired him to strive for something more.
Yeah.
To be a better man.
Wow. There are so many layers to this story.
There are. It's like peeling back an onion. And the revelations don't stop there.
Okay.
He also expresses his intention to support Presley and be a father to their child.
Right.
It's a poignant reminder that people are capable of change.
Yeah.
Even when it seems unlikely.
So with this newfound information,
right,
what does Noah do?
Right.
Does he try to win Maddie back?
Yeah.
Knowing that Jake truly cared for her?
He's faced with another heart-wrenching decision.
Yeah.
He chooses to honor Jake's wishes.
What do you mean? How does he do that?
He gives the engagement ring to Presley.
Wow.
Recognizing that she and the baby need it more than he does. It's a selfless act that demonstrates his growth and understanding.
That's a powerful gesture. It shows how much he's matured throughout the story.
He's letting go of his own desires.
Right.
And putting the needs of others first.
Yeah.
He's finally embodying that empathy and compassion he's been grappling with throughout the entire novel.
But what about Maddie?
Right.
Does he just leave things as they are?
He's still deeply in love with her.
Yeah.
And he realizes that he can't live with this secret.
So he tells her everything.
He does. He finally confesses the truth about the ring.
Wow.
The letter. And Jake's intentions.
Right.
It takes immense courage to be that vulnerable.
Yeah.
Especially when you risk losing the one you love.
I can only imagine how difficult that conversation must have been.
And while the novel leaves their future somewhat open-ended, there's a glimmer of hope.
Okay, I'm dying to know what happens. Tell me, do they get back together?
Maddie is understandably hurt and angry at first.
Yeah.
But she also shows a surprising amount of understanding. Their bond runs deep.
Right.
And it seems like they might just be strong enough to weather this storm.
So there's a chance they might work things out.
The novel ends with them sharing a tender moment.
Okay.
Leaving the possibility of reconciliation open.
Right.
It's a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
Tinged with sadness for what could have been.
Right.
But also a sense of hope for the future.
Despite all the grief, revelations, and difficult choices, it sounds like there's a sense of optimism in the end.
There is. It's a story about growth, forgiveness, and the enduring power of human connection.
Yeah.
Even in the face of loss and heartbreak, there's always hope for healing and new beginnings.
It's fascinating how this young adult novel, Don't Hate the Player, Hate the Game, manages to weave such complex themes into a story that ultimately leaves you feeling hopeful.
It really does offer a powerful message of resilience.
Yeah.
What strikes me is how the novel challenges us to examine our own assumptions about people.
It's so easy to put people in boxes, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
To label them based on limited information.
Or first impressions.
And this story reminds us that those labels rarely capture the full complexity of a human being.
Jake's character arc is a perfect example.
Right.
We start off thinking we know him, the stereotypical player, but as the story unfolds, we see this vulnerability and a depth we never expected.
And you could say the same for Noah's father, Joe.
Right.
Initially, he's portrayed as this absent dad, almost the villain of the story.
Yeah.
But through Noah's interactions with him, we get a glimpse of a man wrestling with his own past, his own regrets.
It's like the novel is urging us to look beyond those surface judgments and really consider the experiences that have shaped the people around us.
It's a powerful message, especially in a world that often encourages snap judgments and superficiality.
This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
Yeah.
It underscores how important empathy is
and
a tool for understanding both ourselves and others.
So as we wrap up,
Right.
what do you think is the key takeaway for our listeners? Why should they care about these insights we've gleaned from a young adult novel?
It boils down to this.
Okay.
The themes explored in Don't Hate the Player, Hate the Game are universal. Grief, forgiveness, societal expectations, self-discovery. Aren't these all things we grapple with at some point in our lives?
You're right. Fiction provides such a powerful way to explore those complex emotions.
Absolutely.
And to help us understand ourselves and the world a little bit better.
Exactly. And even though it's classified as a young adult novel, I think these messages resonate with people of all ages.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This story stays with you long after you've finished the last page.
For sure.
So before we go, I'd like to leave our listeners with a question to ponder.
Okay.
If our judgments about people are often based on incomplete information, how can we be more understanding and open-minded in our own lives?
That's something worth thinking about.
Yeah.
As we navigate our own relationships and interactions.
Right.
And we would love to hear your thoughts.
Feel free to share any insights or questions you have about this deep dive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.